Welcome to Mosaic Arts Online. I'm Kathleen Doody, and in this course I will be teaching Pebble Mosaics. I fell in love with Pebble Mosaics over years of studio visits with Maggie Howarth at her home in England. Finally, over 12 years ago, I was very fortunate to take both her beginner and advanced workshops there and create my first pieces, which I'll show inside the course. The timing was fortunate because back in my hometown, the community wanted to create a large-scale pebble mosaic as a centerpiece for a new square we were planning, located outside our community center. With the skills I learned, I was able to teach many people how to make simple pebble mosaics similar to the one you'll be learning in this course. They were then able to help build the final 12-foot diameter mosaic now installed. The first secret you need to know about creating pebble mosaics is that you can never have enough pebbles. To start this process, you'll need a design. This can be either hand-drawn or created with a vector software program. In this course, I'll provide 3 different designs that are 12 inches square, and we'll be using one of these for the project. Once you've printed your template to actual size, we talk about Pebble Selection. I will discuss size, shape, and color, as well as what makes a good and a bad pebble. You'll need a few pieces of lumber to build your mold. This will include a 2x4 cut to lengths, a wooden base to work on, and 3.5-inch nails. We'll be using the precast indirect method of pebble mosaic. This allows you to work inside, out of the weather, on a surface at the correct height for you. The cementitious grout makes these pebble mosaics more durable, and you're able to work with smaller pebbles. With sand as our base, I will teach you how to place the pebbles good side down. Having the proper sand level is key to a successful pebble mosaic. The sand acts as a barrier for the grout that we will be using to cast the mosaic. Once the pebbles are tightly packed in place, I will demonstrate how to measure and mix the free-flowing grout. The grout for this process is a cement with added plasticizer and not the same as traditional mosaic grout. I'll show you how to pour the grout over the pebbles in 2 layers with added aggregate in the second layer for extra strength and durability. Once the mosaic is cured overnight, I'll remove the mold, wash off the sand, and reveal the completed work. In the next section is a PDF for download of the suggested tools, materials, and resources. I have included 3 template designs that can be downloaded and printed to 100% scale for your projects. So let's get started.
Kathleen, thank you so much for coming to Mosaic Arts Online and bringing this course. I have been wanting this course for so long, and now the right person has come all the way from Toronto, Canada to teach it.
I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to spread the word about Pebble Mosaic.
You are, and I really want to quickly bring up Maggie Howarth's name again. This is her book. This is the 2nd edition. There's actually 3 editions to this book. But what was so important about you coming to teach this is Maggie really is the queen of this technique, and there's others out there obviously doing it, but she has really honed a lot of these skills, and now you're here to share that knowledge with everyone.
That's right. Maggie's the one. This method that we teach here is she calls it the precast method,
right,
which is an indirect method. It just makes for a much stronger mosaic. It's a flat surface to walk on. It feels great in bare feet.
Yes.
And it's durable
And the opposing way would be to do the direct method into the cement, which can be hard on your back and maybe not as durable, like you're saying, the way that this can be cast as a perfect mold.
That's right. And also you can't work in the rain,
right,
or you can't work in cold temperatures, so that some of us in colder climates wouldn't be able to work for months of the year.
Right. And you learned from her, and then talk a little bit about this community project that you created in your hometown.
Well, there was 3 of us from different areas, a landscape architect and a woman who had done a lot of arts organizing, and myself coming from the Pebble Mosaic side. They just really wanted to make something that we were proud of rather than this mess of broken concrete sidewalks in front of our community building.
Sure.
So the timing was good.
Mm-hmm.
We ran workshops. The first one, we figured we could have 10 people in a workshop and we see if anybody showed up. 10 people signed up. So we ran 5 in all. So we had 50 people who had made a Pebble Mosaic.
Mm-hmm. But
Similar
not
to
for
this.
the project. They just learned the technique like all of our students are going to learn. Basic stuff.
They learned with this mosaic, but on the other side of the square, we installed them all.
Oh, that's
that's
great.
why with the wave pattern, they were in a
this.
row.
Mm-hmm. Similar to this.
Yeah. It created a long strip, and we made
Right.
an open square.
Right.
And then if they liked it, and fortunately a number of people did, they'd come back to help work. It was a volunteer project.
Sure,
They'd help
sure.
work on the 12-foot diameter mosaic.
So that's what's so beautiful about learning this technique. Kathleen is going to show you how to make this 12 by 12 from start to finish. But what can be done is multiples and different ways that you can expand into a 2-foot square, but all based on just the skills and the knowledge that you give in this course. So the materials that are necessary, a little bit about the wood and the pebbles, because it's not that complicated once you gather all your materials.
No, and you can use everything again when you get so engrossed in the whole process and product.
For the attics.
Basically, the mold is made with 2x4s, cut down and nailed into the table to form a square. You have to select certain shapes and colors of pebbles to make your mosaic more interesting visually and also make it strong.
Right.
We'll talk about that.
And then let's talk about the grout. Because
the grout.
Grout is a very well-known word in the mosaic community. But this is not the same kind of grout. This is really more like cement, you said, with like a plasticizer in it.
It's
and
actually,
it pours.
That's right.
Okay.
It's actually an industrial use product. Right. It's also called a cable grout. It flows into small spaces. So the idea is when you have your pebbles packed tightly together, it can flow down between them to really set the pebbles. And it has, like you said, it's almost 98% cement and the rest is plasticizer to hold it. And so it won't shrink. That's also critical. It won't shrink away from the pebbles, and once you've cast it, your pebbles will stay where you put them.
Everything taught in this course has been done so many times for large-scale pebble mosaics and small. So I think anything that you have brought to this course, people are going to have such a success. And we have designed this course and called it Pebble Mosaic 101 so that anyone can dive in and do it. So I cannot thank you enough for bringing this course to Mosaic Arts Online.
My pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely.